Making Nigeria work is a different ball game entirely. But answering the question, right, which is why is Lagos so concentrated? The problem why you have Lagos highly concentrated is because it's a land of commerce. It is because all the institutions that drive the economy are based here. That's one. Number two, it is because all the core infrastructure that enables commerce, enables economy are based in Lagos. So how many ports do we have in Nigeria? That's the problem. So if you have ports, in fact, that's the major. If we have ports in Lagos, so if we can replicate same across Delta, Anambra, Abuja, across all that states, nobody will leave their state to come to Lagos. If you know that when you buy something, you can ship it down to your state, you can clear it there and start selling. The idea that I have to come to Lagos will not exist. So port is what we have to domesticate port across all the states. If we cannot do it across all the states, then we'll have to do it in most of the states that are close to themselves. For instance, Kogi borders about 9 to 10 other states. It borders Akure, that's Ondo, right? It borders Abuja. It borders Enugu. It borders Benue. It borders Edo. So imagine that we have a port in Kogi State. The person in Edo can buy stuff directly from Kogi and go to Kogi to clear it because it's just about 15, 20 minutes drive. So when we do that, when we democratize ports, it will help activities to happen in other states instead of everybody. And automatically, the congestion that you have in Lagos will just naturally go down. Another thing is many states do not have anything serious happening there. More than 80% of Nigerian states are just farmers. If you go to their states, it's just you only have farmers and you have civil servants. That's all. You don't have room for thinkers. You don't have room for doers. So when we begin to create serious economic activity, right, things will begin to happen in other states. So Lagos is going to just the too much that we already have in Lagos will reduce. Then people can begin to reroute because they know that they would have a lot to do there. Then another thing too is to empower every state to function with their own resources and with their own people. So I'll give you an instance. If you are in Lagos, Lagos creates the policies that enables people once you come to Lagos to thrive. So it's a land of opportunity. Why? Because Lagos is more embracing of brilliant ideas finding expression. In other states, you do not have that. You don't have that. So you go to other states, who are going to be your consumers? So the first, apart from ports, the second most important thing that we need is we need good power. We need electricity across the street, across all the states. You cannot produce anything without power. In addressing why Lagos is congested, why everybody is running helter skelter to come to Lagos to find their daily bread, the two things we must address is one, democratize ports across the states, or put them in a place whereby people around other states can access them. If you put a port in Kogi, for instance, almost 10 states can access ports. They will never come to Lagos. Then let's ensure that our power generation is high enough that we can supply all the states. You see, electricity has a way of firing people up. What we are doing right now, we can't have this conversation without electricity. Does it mean that we don't have something to say? We do. But can we just say something without electricity? No. So if we can have good supply of power across the states, these two things will help, to power the state towards productivity. Then the third thing will be reorientation. We need serious reorientation. The Ministry of of Orientation in Nigeria is not working. So there's a need for serious reorientation. These three things are things that I can do within a short space. Let's have ports across all the states or at core areas that people can access. Let's have good power generation so that we can supply all the states too. Number three, let's reorientate the people. All the nonsense that we have internalized and have accepted, let's unlearn them. Let's relearn something new. Let's address our identity crisis, our distorted history. Let's address it. Who are we? Why are we here? What are we doing? Are we truly divided, artificially divided? Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Ibibio, Igala, this. Are we truly those all that they say we are? Or we are just one, we're just a people? Serious reorientation needs to happen. For people to know that we are not divided. We are just one people with different colors. And those colors are supposed to be the spices of our existence and not the basis for us to divide or to fight. The colors are supposed to be the strength of our existence and not the reason why we should divide. So, serious orientation, serious reorientation that we must all arise and begin an all participation society. That without you, the Igbo man, I'm not complete. Without the Hausa man, the Igbo man is not complete. Without the Yoruba man, the Delta man is not complete. This is how we begin the reorientation. And I believe that if we do those three things, every other thing will begin to fall into space. Well, from Logic Republic, guys, you already know. This is humanity speaking. I believe that there is nothing out there for us to do apart from being a human being made of humanity and not persons. In other words, I'm saying that everything that divides us are all artificial. The idea that we are divided by countries are artificial. There's nothing like countries. We are all the same people. Um, there's no clear cut landmark. The world is one. Africa is one. America with Africa is the same. But we created this artificial wall by saying that this is this, this is this. If we collapse all these walls, artificial wall, by the way, will become one people, one culture, one purpose, one destiny. So I'm saying that we need to collapse all artificial walls and embrace unity in diversity. That's my message. Okay, so being made of humanity is collectivity. So the identity here is everybody together as one. When we are made of persons, then Nigerian, Ghana, Americans, Europeans, all that arise, that's persons. In fact, within Nigeria alone, if we are made of persons, you now have Yoruba man, you have Hausa man, you have Igbo man, you have endless. So it is the philosophy that we are made of persons that created all that I'm talking about. So within Nigeria alone, you have over 250 tribes. We are made of persons. That's what it does. Then you talk about Africa. Can you imagine how many we have? Then you talk about America. You talk about Europe. You talk about so the list is endless. So that means we have too many reasons to be divided. But when we are made of humanity, all the artificial walls are collapsed. So our identity here is collectivity. One people in one world, fulfilling one the same purpose, and all participation society. And the purpose is love. There's nothing more out there. So it is the corruption of love that's what we call hate. It is the corruption of good that we call evil. Evil does not exist on its own. For it to exist, you must corrupt good. So, but we have confused the idea of good to say that the opposite of good is evil. No, good does not have opposite. Evil is the corruption of good. It does not exist unless good exists, unless good is corrupted. Hate does not exist. The only thing that exists is love. When you are misinformed, in your attempt to guarantee yourself love, unguidedness, you create hate. Do you understand? So even the person that is hating someone is loving himself or loving something over the person that is hating. So it's still love that is working, but without purpose, without guide. So that's how it is. All right. Thank you. Continue the conversation.